Let me tell you how they finesse in the system. All right. I'm gonna tell y'all how they finesse the system. This is the only bone that I'm gonna throw the black community as far as giving you an excuse to be mad at another race for how they finesse in the system. Listen closely. Listen closely. This is the only bone that I'm throwing the black community as far as holding other races accountable for how they're finessing the system. Are you ready? All right, here we go. We're gonna go quickly because I don't want to sit here living in the victim Olympics. All right. When we were running the restaurant and you start to become more familiar with other business owners and restaurant owners and things like that, what we found was that while we were actually putting our own money into it, because I was doing really well, I was making a whole lot of money on my regular job and in my businesses and things like that. So my income was still really high, even though I understood how to look at things from a business perspective as far as getting all of the deductions necessary in order to minimize how much I was paying to the federal government. So everything that I was doing, was based off of just having a good business mindset and working hard and building up our nest egg for our family and taking care of all of that and so on and so forth, right? But this is what other communities were doing, right? I hate that I'm even having this conversation with y'all because I don't want y'all to have no excuses. All right? So this is what the other communities was doing. They made sure that the only way that they were generating revenue was not actually going to get a job. Let me say that again. They made sure that the only way that they were generating revenue was that you could not record how much that revenue was. So getting a job required you to pay taxes. It required for you to get a W-2, right? You got to fill out a 1040 and all of this. Well, everybody got to fill out a 1040, but you got to fill out all of the documents that say, hey, this is my tax threshold. This is my Social Security and everything like that. And so every person that I knew that actually had a restaurant, a car dealership, any kind of business, tax service, whatever, all of it was a cash-based business. Now, why would they have a cash-based business? Because they didn't have to then report to the federal government exactly how much they were making. And so this is how they would finesse the system. I got a restaurant, you got a restaurant. I'm generating all this level of revenue. You generating this level of revenue. You come into my business, I'm using data, right? All of my stuff is credit cards. The majority of the people that pay for the services are using a credit cards, debit cards, so on and so forth, Apple Pay, whatever. You only requiring cash. They don't have to record it, and because they're a cash business, they grossly underreport the amount of money that they're making in order to make sure that they stay on government assistance. Now, why would this restaurant want to stay on government assistance? Well, because they can then say, well, we have 8 people inside of our household, so we're going to get $2,000 a month in SNAP benefits. And when I go to Sam's Club or I go over to the meat producer or I go over to this, you using your SNAP benefits in order to pay for the food that you then prepare and sell to the rest of the people. I'm using my revenue that I'm generating from the business to reinvest back into the business, and they were using a SNAP benefits in order to buy the supplies and the things that they then use to make the food that they sold back to the people. So they was double skimming it, right? They was getting the food for free, and then they was selling it at a gross profit because they didn't have to then say that a pound of chicken costs this amount of money. I gave y'all a bone. I'm giving y'all the game. They didn't have to calculate the amount of money that it cost them to buy chicken, flour, butter, all of these different things because they were using these SNAP benefits in order to buy all of the products. See, they didn't do it like y'all do it. What y'all do inside of the hood is you get your SNAP benefits, right? You get $1,000 in SNAP benefits, and then you sell it for $500, $600 because you just want the cash. They didn't do it like you. Even they finessed differently than you. What they did was they took their SNAP benefits and they reinvested it back into their business, prevented themselves from having to pay the taxes because then they were able to underreport what they made because they mostly operated in a cash business, and then they continued to get the benefits because they had more people that they were able to report that was in a household. That's why they live together. That's why they won't get jobs. And that's how they use the money and the SNAP benefits to reinvest in the businesses that they then make a ton of money off of you. And so when you get your SNAP benefits, you sell them at a discount. They use their SNAP benefits to reinvest it back into their business. That's how they finessed. You got one better than that? What? Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why they won't get married, so that she can't get cut off from her benefits. But I know he lived with her. Yep. That's how they finesse. See, I seen this firsthand. I'm sitting there and we got our order from Sam's Club and we going to pick it up. And this dude is paying, he got 10 baskets and they putting all of this stuff in his car and he paid for all of his stuff with SNAP benefits and we actually paying for it with the profits and the revenue out of pocket that we generated from the business. Because we doing it on the up and up and they finessing. I know I'm always dropping the game on y'all. Everything that they generated was completely pure profit. Everything that they generated was 100% profit because the government bought the food that they then used to prepare to you and sell it to you. And that's why they won't get no jobs. Think about it. Car business, hustle. Restaurant business, hustle. Let me give y'all the real game. Why do y'all think that the federal government is trying to move everything over into digital? You haven't figured that out yet? It's because that's the way in which they trying to get rid of the dollar. They trying to get rid of the actual real dollar. The reason that they trying to get rid of the real dollar is because then they're able to better track how it is that you're utilizing or whether or not you're making money in your business. As long as we keep cash, as long as we keep fiat currency, as long as they trying to get rid of coins, they trying to get rid of dollars, they trying to get rid of the 5, 10, 20, the $100 bits so y'all can't have no money phone no more. And the reason that they do that they want to do that is because they want to rid everybody from being on this system in which they can't justify the amount of money that's coming in and going out. So they strategically say certain things, but they don't give you the whole finesse. So when Biden then says, listen, we actually want to go after the rich people. And that's why anybody that makes over $600 on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, so on and so forth, then they should have to report to the IRS. And we're requiring these processors in order to report it to the IRS. It's because they know that little Shaniqua's hair business is getting paid in Cash App and she's not fully reporting everything that she got coming in. It's because they know that Ahmed's car business is a cash business and he's not actually reporting the amount of money that he's making from that particular transaction, which puts you at a disadvantage because you don't know the game. You don't know that they're doing illegal activity in order to finesse. So I can't give you, I can't put my stamp on it and say, hey guys, this is a Patreon exclusive. This is how they out here finessing people, because I'm not trying to incentivize you to go out here and finesse the system. I want you to do it the right way. I actually want you to pay your taxes because I don't want you to be getting in trouble. I don't want you to get arrested, and I don't want you to owe the IRS. So I feel comfortable showing my bank accounts. I feel comfortable showing you what my spending is because everything is on the up and up. But this is the thing that they need to be spending their time on. Biden administration, Obama administration, and every single policymaker in every state across the board. They need to be going after these people that's coming into these country, not because they have an advantage on you on starting a business or getting a loan. It's the way in which they reinvest their money back into a product to sell it back to you at an exponential profit while you over there selling your SNAP benefits to the person at the corner because you just want to get some cash so you can get some dope and some weed. That's the difference. That's the difference between how it is that they finessing you on that side versus how it is that we think on this side. That's the only bone I'm throwing y'all. It's the only bone that I'm gonna throw y'all. I don't want nobody sitting here talking about victim Olympics or anything like that. I finally threw you a bone. I finally told you how they out here finessing you. Congratulations. I know. I know what they're doing. I know exactly how they finessing the game. I'm about to read super chats in a second. I just wanted to give y'all that game. I wanted y'all to be able to say, see, it is racism. No, it's not. It's not racism. It's they're practicing illegal activity from a group perspective that's not legal, but there's no way for the federal government to be able to prove it unless somebody within their circle snitch on them.